that music means. It means it's Aggie Warrior time. Michael Thornberry back at the Radisson Astrodome. Let's go to Carlos Silva for our next fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to our fourth bout of the evening. When the bell sounds, the man in charge, Mr. Bobby Gonzalez. And now, introducing the principals. First, out of the red corner, wearing black colored trunks with white stripe. Ladies and gentlemen, he weighed in at a trim 197 pounds. He is fighting his professional debut from Fort Sill, Oklahoma. Help me welcome Thaddeus Chuchro. And this young man to my right, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the purple colored trunks. He weighed in at a trim 209 pounds. Ladies and gentlemen, he holds an outstanding professional record of 4 wins, no losses, and 2 by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, he hails from Conroe, Texas. Help me welcome the Aggie Warrior, Michael Thornberry.
A crowd favorite here at the Radisson Astrodome. Michael Thornberry, the Aggie Warrior, taking on Thaddeus Chuchro. And as you can see, Chuchro in great shape. This is not going to be easy for Thornberry. Welcome back. Joining me now, taking Bob Spagnuolo's place for this fight, is Steve Munisteri. And Steve is the president of Munisteri Sports. And among others, some of his fighters, Ike Ibiabuchi, Obed Sullivan. He's also partners with guys that manage Shannon Briggs and Ray Mercer. So he knows the fight game, and he is here tonight to help us out with the broadcast. You're a lawyer too, right, Steve?
That's correct, John.
Well, with Ike, you need to be a lawyer, I guess.
This week.
Yes. We've got a pretty good fight right here. Michael Thornberry in the maroon trunks, as you would imagine, being the Aggie Warrior, against a young man who's making his pro debut, Thaddeus Chuchro. And Thaddeus looks like he's a dangerous guy, doesn't he?
Yeah, for a pro debuter, he's coming to fight, and when you have a guy that's undefeated like Thornberry and is a local favorite, normally you try to match him pretty easy early. But they've got him in with a guy that's in shape, coming to fight. That's what the crowd wants to see, exciting heavyweight action. And frankly, it's better to have 2 well-matched folks than somebody that has a run over. And I also say, John, that you always look good punching the heavy bag. Let's see what happens when you have somebody that fights back, and he's definitely fighting back.
Oh, yeah. Well, the thing is, you look at this young man, Thaddeus Chuchro. He comes here from Fort Salisbury. He's in the Army, and he comes here with absolutely no experience, professionally anyway. Michael Thornberry in his 5th fight right now, and he has had it easy in his first 3 fights. There were definitely guys that Michael Thornberry was just going to get some experience with, just build up a little bit of a sweat. Actually, he didn't build up any sweat against any of those guys. But last time out here, he had himself a fight. This time he's in another fight. As you can see, Chuchro will not back down.
Not only is he not backing down, but the thing I like is every time he's hit, he comes back and fires. Look, he just took a couple of good blows, and he's coming back. He's showing heart. But this will bring out the heart in Thornberry. We'll see what he's made of. You need to test the guy when he comes to 4 or 5 fights.
Did you see the difference? Michael Thornberry how much calmer, no wasted movement.
There's nothing like a pro debut, John. You have so much nerves and the pressure. And a guy that's been in there for 4 fights, he knows what to expect. You can see Thaddeus is huffing and puffing through his mouthpiece. That's nerves. It can't be conditioning, because if you look at his body weight, he has no fat on him.
Yeah, absolutely not. He trains hard. He's in the Army, just 23 years old. They let him come to this fight. Normally, he says, I have to fight on the weekends. But he has amateur-wise. This is the first time he's getting paid for it. The Army decided to let him come to this Thursday night fight here at the Radisson Astrodome. They had to travel a little bit for it, too, from Fort Sill.
And usually the Army's pretty good about letting the guys go out and fight. There's a nice fighter by the name of Jeff Wooden, who's a fringe contender, and he basically fought on the weekends for the Army. So you can do this. And most of the Army guys are real tough. They've been through boot camp, and that was a good left hook by Thornberry. But look at him come back and nail him.
Good right hand right there. Thornberry was off balance, and Chuchro definitely took advantage of it.
And John, what impressed me is that came right after Thaddeus took a lick.
Right.
They're going toe-to-toe action. Everybody's throwing punches. This is what the crowd wants to see. 2 big men throwing bombs.
Good first round here. The Aggie Warrior against Thaddeus Chuchro. So that you don't have to edit it. What? So? Yeah.
I'm his manager, but I oversee getting the legal team together.
When's he going to get out?
More than once. He's got a $2 million bail, so he has to put up $2 million worth of collateral, and no one's willing to do that. But not for a while.
Boy, all that talent.
I mean, I'm literally depressed about it.
We move to further action in the fight. Second round now. Michael Thornberry is taking on Thaddeus Chuchro. Michael Thornberry is the Aggie Warrior. He's wearing the maroon trunks. Good left hand by Michael Thornberry. Good first round. Steve, how'd you see it?
I thought it was a very even and close round, but I gave it to Thornberry on effective aggressiveness. But you got to give the other guy credit. Every time he got hit, he fired back. He's doing the same in the second round. And I think he actually hurt Thornberry at the end of the first round, but not enough to win the fight. And notice there's a cut there, John, right there on the right side of Thornberry's eye. That could be problematic as the fight goes on.
This is, without a doubt, the best test the Aggie Warrior has had. These two guys are going at it, ladies and gentlemen, and this crowd is loving it. Obviously, Michael Thornberry, the crowd favorite, and a tough job at a pro debut by Thaddeus Chuchro. You have to take on a guy in his hometown, but you know what? He's up to it.
He is. He just got hurt there with the left hook and then a right cross. He's wobbling. He's about to go down. But he's showing a lot of guts. I think he might survive the round, but just barely.
He is almost out on his feet. You could tell the legs were wobbling. His eyes were glazing over.
He's fighting just on guts. Look at him trying to throw a punch.
That's about it. If he takes another one of those, this one's over.
Bobby Gonzalez looking very closely, John, but this is a war. A warrior versus another warrior. Oh, breaking the fighters right there may have given him just enough break to survive the round. And Thornberry may have punched himself out a little bit, John. He looks tired from throwing all those punches. And look at Thaddeus come back. He's exhausted, he's beat, he's tired, and yet just from somewhere he's coming down, digging deep, and he's trying to throw punches. And a good right hand on Thornberry.
Boy, just doing enough to stay on his feet. His pro debut, this is more than he had bargained for.
Welcome to boxing.
Exactly. Michael Thornberry, that little bit of experience, and I didn't think those first fights where Thornberry, was put in with a guy that had no business being in the ring with him. But I guess that experience, any experience, is going to help you later on, and it certainly is helping him tonight against a pretty decent fighter.
If for no other reason than it gets you over your case of nerves, because you get used to and get comfortable to be in the ring. But you got to give Thaddeus credit here. I thought he was out on his feet about a minute ago, and he's coming back throwing punches. And I wouldn't be surprised if he survives the round and comes out strong in the third.
He had that look in his eye like he was about to go down. His legs wobbled, his eyes glazed over. He wasn't even looking at Thornberry, and he survived it. And here he is at the end of this round attacking. We got a fight here, ladies and gentlemen. People are standing and applauding. Please get them and stay with them. I saw, but you got away from it, man. This is the stuff that sells.
That sells too.
Before the decision, we'll be able to talk to them a little bit. All right. We move to further action in the fight. Third round now. Michael Thornberry, the Aggie Warrior, in the maroon trunks against Thaddeus Chuchro in the black trunks. Thaddeus Chuchro was out on his feet in the second round. Michael Thornberry is down. He took a hit, but he slipped, Steve. But the referee is going to call that a knockdown.
But the slip was caused by a punch, so technically he's correct. But he made my prediction come true. I said I wouldn't be surprised if Thaddeus came out strong in the third round. This guy has a lot of guts, John. He's fighting a warrior, but he's a warrior. And this is just toe-to-toe action here.
Hey, that could be 2 points, and this could be an even fight right now.
Right now I have it even if Thaddeus doesn't go down himself by the end of this round. If he can survive this round and not get hurt himself, we'll have a 10-8 round, and we'll have an even fight going into the fourth round.
Now, even if Michael Thornberry dominates the rest of this round, is it still a 2-point round for Thaddeus?
Most judges will give you a 10-8 if you knock down the other guy, even if the other guy comes back. Occasionally, you'll get a 10-9. And since he's, the local favorite, maybe he'll get a 10-9. But even if it's a 10-9, it means Thaddeus still can get a draw or win in the fourth.
Oh, a right hand.
Oh, my God.
The blood is oozing from the right side of Thaddeus' face. Thaddeus comes back after that good right hand by Michael Thornberry.
And hurting Thaddeus that much, you can certainly make the argument now he should get no worse than a 10-9. But look, I think there's a cut also on Thaddeus, and he just got hurt. My right hand really hurt Thaddeus. He doesn't have any legs, John.
No. His pro debut, he has taken some solid punches by a guy who can punch. Thornberry with a cut, I believe, on his nose and on in his left eye there. And Thaddeus looks like he is about to go down. Thaddeus was measured there by Michael Thornberry, and the referee stepped in. Good job.
And for the second time, a break in the action, I think, saves Thaddeus, because previously he looked like he was about to be knocked out. They're having the doctor check him. If he's allowed to continue, it's this break that will allow him to keep going.
He had a break before in the second round when he was wobbly. Now the third round, he takes another, and he's wobbly again.
The referee really should stop the fight, John.
Thornberry's going to knock him down, and that's the fight.
He's out. And he's badly cut to boot. They should just wave this off. Let him fight another day.
That's all. What a heart by Thaddeus Chuchro. But Michael Thornberry, after being knocked down earlier in the round, comes back and knocks out Thaddeus Chuchro here in the third. What action here at the Radisson Astrodome. And we're with a guy, Steve Munisteri, who has got world-class fighters. Ike Ibiabuchi has got his legal problems right now. As a matter of fact, he's facing them as we speak in Las Vegas. Do you think he's going to be able to overcome this, Steve, and he's going to be the champion that a lot of people think he can be?
I think he's the best heavyweight in the world right now. Lennox Lewis refused to fight him. Evander Holyfield refused to fight him. But his biggest fight right now, John, is in the courtroom, not in the ring. But I'd like to point out to the public that you're presumed innocent. He denies he's done anything wrong. And we have to remember that the woman accusing him is a confirmed escort. And that raises its own doubt if you advertise in the yellow pages under adult service. You claim a sexual assault. I think by the nature of those circumstances, it's very suspicious. And unfortunately today, athletes who can make millions of dollars, and Ike was posed to make millions, we had a contract in hand for millions, can sometimes entice people to try to jump on the bandwagon to try to make a claim.
Lawyers speak here, ladies and gentlemen, at the Radisson Astrodome, and we couldn't expect any less out of Ike Ibiabuchi's lawyer. We hope that someday he's going to be able to overcome these problems, but as a guy who's dependent on Ike Ibiabuchi, you have to be a little bit disappointed and maybe even a little worried.
Well, I'm going to be frank with you, John. I was very depressed about the situation. Right now I have a fighter in jail. He has $2 million bail. He can't get out. It's wearing on him. It's wearing on us. We had an offer for $1.5 million for the Michael Grant fight. We were about to accept it on the day I got the call. We had an $8 million contract on the table for 4 fights, so it's heartbreaking.
That's a lot of money on the table, but Ike Ibiabuchi will see it sooner or later if we know anything about sports nowadays. Let's go to our ring announcer now, Carlos Silva, for the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee halts the bout at 2 minutes and 36 seconds of round number 2. Let's hear for your winner by knockout, the Aggie Warrior, Michael Thornberry.
Chuchro 0-1, but 1-0-1. What an experience for the young man from Fort Sill, Oklahoma.